Good morning, everybody. I'll be talking about mangroves today, and I'm calling them energy masters because they are very resilient and they have adapted ways to develop, store, and use energy in some of the most lethal places on Earth for other plants. The goals of the presentation today are to explain how mangroves take energy from their surroundings, how they use enzymes, the processes that they use to turn food into energy, and some interesting adaptations specific to the mangrove. So mangroves are salt-tolerant trees, and they are found in tropical areas, muddy coastal wetlands areas, maybe tidal areas. And what makes them special, many things, but especially recognizable, would be their root systems, which are above the ground. And they live in areas that really are difficult for most plants to survive. And they do take in nitrogen and phosphorus from the soil to build proteins and enzymes. And we'll talk about the difficulties that entails in these salty areas. They get energy from sunlight or solar energy. That is one of their primary sources, like all plants. They also take in carbon dioxide from the air. They absorb water and minerals through their roots. Even though they are in salty areas, they can filter the excess salt. And they produce glucose. They store it as energy, and then it can be used later. So sunlight, carbon dioxide, and nutrients are their primary sources of energy. Of course, enzymes are vital to mangroves. They speed up the chemical reactions. They would not be able to have these reactions as quickly without the enzymes. So, of course, they need them for photosynthesis, cellular respiration, to use their nutrients, and then finally for growth and repair of their systems. Once the glucose is produced in the leaves, then it can go to the cells. It can reach the cells. That energy would be stored as ATP, adenosine triphosphate. This is the usable energy source for the cells. This is stored in ATP molecules. They need it for their root growth, for repair, and of course, the salty environment means that they need the ATP in order to survive in this very salty area. So mangroves contain chlorophyll in their leaves like other plants. This captures the sunlight, converts carbon dioxide and water into glucose. And this process is necessary for plants for survival. The special thing about the mangroves, they can absorb the carbon dioxide and store it in their tissues. We'll talk about that in some of their special tricks, but they are very vital to the environment because they actually have a high capacity for this carbon storage. And here you can see a flow chart of the process of energy management in mangroves. It does, as we said, come through sunlight, photosynthesis into glucose, cellular respiration to ATP, and then finally completing the cycle of growth, repair, and managing the stressful, salty environment. And as mentioned repeatedly throughout this presentation, the mangrove survives in areas that other plants simply cannot due to the extreme salt in the soils, the special root systems that are above the ground and help in oxygen retrieval, and the really amazing carbon absorption capabilities of the mangrove mean that they are an excellent addition to our ecosystem and can help us environmentally as well. Thank you.